Welcome back to Making Video Your Business. Today I'm joined by my good friends, Matt and Neil.
Hello.
Chaps.
Hello, mate.
So both of you were on the podcast about 3 years ago. You're one of the first guests.
Is that long?
Yeah, it's a long time ago. It's been running that long.
Yeah, well done.
Very nice set.
Thanks for coming back. So your evolution of video content has massively changed. So a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, Matt, you were doing a few bits from your desk every so often. You've done a few bits with us. We've done a brand pack in your offices for, just for, to be honest about it, we've done some video work for you. Yeah. But since then, you have done events where you've covered that. You've done some social content with an agency in London. You've also formalized your podcast. Talk to me a bit about why you've done that, why you think that is the strategy for your business going forward.
I just think it's the strategy for every business, and I'm conscious of who I'm speaking to here, but if you want to speak, we'll say for agents, for argument's sake, if I said to an estate agent, I can get you 100 potential sellers in a room, or I can get you 100 potential landlords in a room, do you want to come and speak to them? Most agents would say yes. Well, you've got that with social media and with video. And don't get me wrong, we still do written posts, and I still do written posts, and I still dip in and out of, worrying about video and that kind of thing. But on the whole, it's if you write text, and people can't always take the context of it, the tone of voice, that kind of thing. So we've just found video is just a better way to get everything across.
It just is the number one marketing method out there now, really, isn't it? Of, like Matt said, being able to broadcast yourself to hundreds, thousands of people in one go. And I think the reason our strategy with it has evolved is because we're a big believer in start now, get perfect later. Yeah. People say that phrase in different ways, but so I'll never not do some content just because I can't come into your studio for whatever reason. I'll pick up my phone and I'll make some content. But then when I can get to your studio and do some more polished stuff, then I think that's really important because do you know what I mean? I think there should be no limitations. Content should be coming in many different forms, but the better you can get with it, the better results you'll get with it.
So anyone who doesn't know the two of you who don't work in the property sphere, you've got a very successful letting and estate agency business based in Essex, coupled with an HMO network, so multiple homes of multiple applications. Is it houses of multiple application?
Houses of multiple application.
Yeah,
you're nearly there, mate.
You've got a business there as well, but you also have a consultative business as well, and you have agent dinners. So you're across the UK property industry in a number of ways. Why do you think this strategy has worked for all of your business types? Because a lot of our listeners and our watchers will be property people because our network is skewed that way. But you're dipping into it in a consultative way. You've dipped into it in a property, in an agency way, and you've done it for everything.
Yeah.
I think it's because the saying's business is business, but people are people, and ultimately, that's it. Because it doesn't matter in what context you're speaking to the person, you're still speaking to a person. And people want to know who they're dealing with. And it's that old ad, that know, like, trust there, everyone knows. But the quicker way for someone to get to know you, hopefully like you and eventually trust you, is by seeing you on video. And actually it can go the opposite. So I am fully aware there'll be some people that see me on video and think, Christ, I do not want to have to deal with that guy. But that's okay, because we don't have to waste any time. I don't have to bother pitching somebody that doesn't want to deal with me. So for the home sellers, when they answer the door to me, they know it's me, and I look how I look on camera and I sound how I sound. That's fine. And then for agents to come to our dinner, which that's not a business as such, that's just something we do for the wider good of the profession. They can see that because, again, it's our message. They know who we are. And then in the consultancy, it's just getting your message across that bit easier. And people, if they like it, they'll come to you. And if they don't like it, they won't. And much in the case, I don't want to deal with house sellers that aren't going to see my value. We don't want to deal with consulting clients that aren't going to see our value.
And for you, Neil, obviously, when we first started working together 5-6 years ago, when we first sort of came into each other's, I guess, network and stuff, you'd been a copper, and you were quite comfortable dealing with people face to face, dealing with very difficult situations and conflicts. But putting you in front of a camera in those early stages really made you nervous, which was amazing for me, because obviously I've known you such a long time. You're such a confident human, but as soon as a camera turned on, you were like, well, I didn't really know what to say and whatever. And now you're creating, both of you, content like it's going out of fashion. Where do you think that shift came? Because a lot of people get nervous around the lens, don't they?
They do, yeah. I think, well, so there's a couple of things. One, I was never necessarily that confident speaking in big groups or speaking in front of people, but in a professional sense, in the police and the door security, I used to do before that. And then I've got a bit of a thing where I'm able to switch it on. So even if I'm not actually that confident, I can get into situations and my fight or flight I'll take the fight.
Yeah.
But I think the switch on camera is that it's just, even though I'm talking to you now, the fact, and we know each other, we could go out for a beer and all the rest of it, the fact that there is a camera in the background, it can feel weird. I don't know why, it just feels weird. But I suppose I've just done it so many times now, and both of us have, like, you just do it. And I think people just need to get on and do it. There's only really one way to face your fears, and
that's doing it.
To face it head on, yeah.
Yeah. And Matt, obviously you've taken a multi-channel strategy. So this is something that people ask us a lot, about when they're starting their video journey, and you're 5-6 years down the track now, right? But when you're starting that journey, do you focus on one area? Do you focus on one channel? Do you just get your website started? Is it Facebook? Is it TikTok? Is it Instagram? What is it? Whereas you've gone for a multi-channel approach. And why have you done that?
Just for reach, I guess. I mean, listen, I'm probably not the expert. I'm not tweaking it necessarily for that channel and that channel. I'll tend to make a video and then cross-post it. But you don't know where people are consuming the content. So, for the agency, the Quadri, we do a lot of stuff on Facebook. For the consulting and our franchising, we use LinkedIn for that. So I'll record different videos. So the videos I record for Charles David Casson won't be the same ones that I necessarily record for LinkedIn, but then they will still be crossed onto different. I'll use the same one on LinkedIn as I'll use on the Baldock Brothers Instagram, and the same with the Charles David Casson.
Yeah, and what I've noticed as well is that people might be thinking, oh, where should I post it? And I think you can overthink it. But so if we post some consultancy content, let's say on LinkedIn, people might say, well, there's landlords hanging around on LinkedIn, so why aren't you concentrating on your lettings business? But if a landlord sees that we really know how to run a letting agency or a sales agency, the estate agency business, and we're helping other agents around the country to improve their businesses, that adds a huge amount of credibility. So whilst they're not, you see what I mean? They kind of see that, think, well, if they know how to run a business, that also attracts the estate agency clients to us as well.
What do you think, Neil's been the most successful thing you've done? I mean, you've tried, not to say everything, that's not fair, but you've tried lots of things. You've done short, sharp social content, you've done longer form stuff, you've done podcasts, you've done bits from conferences, you've filmed lots and lots and lots of things. What do you think has been the most successful thing that you've done, and what would you encourage people to think about when they're making their own stuff?
Difficult to say, to be honest, because I don't think we have ever measured it that much. We've just taken the view of, like, let's pump out content, really.
More is more. Yeah.
More is more. That's our view.
Just consistencies.
Yeah, consistency is like massive, yeah. But I think the more long form content, although short form is very, probably pump out more of that than we do long form. But I actually think long form is where you build a hell of a lot of trust. So podcasts, long form video content is probably the most successful, because we get lots of comments from people saying, oh, I've seen your YouTube videos, and we don't know that they're seeing, they're just like this invisible audience that have seen it. So I think, and also you make the long form content, you can chop it up into your short form.
Yeah, and that's what, what's really important to remember for people when they're thinking about long form stuff, like podcasts like this, for example. People might engage with a clip that we've pulled from this podcast on one of our other channels, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, or on LinkedIn. But there is obviously the longer form stuff to come back to. And I think for me, I'm a huge fan of long form stuff, and people always ask me, they sort of say, oh, well, in a short form world, when you've got TikTok and Instagram and everything 60 seconds or 30 seconds, what's the point? What's the point? But for me, I always think, well, if they can get a glimpse of you, but then they can really go and find out a bit more about you. It's a bit like I said it to my wife the other day. We were watching someone on telly, and I was like, oh, I wonder what they've been in, and it was an actor, And I was like, oh yeah, they were in that, whatever. And then I did a bit of research. And I was like, oh, I wonder what their net worth is, and I wonder what this, and I wonder what that. And all of a sudden, I sort of built this picture of this actor that just from a quick clip of him on screen. Do you see what I mean? Just like a trailer or a bit of an advert. And I think that's where that kind of goes back to what to Matt was saying about the know, like, and trust, where you end up with this kind of almost this evolution of people knowing, you know, who you are, what you stand for, what your business is about, and everything else.
I think it's important not just to go down your kind of bias, if you like. So we look at this both of us. So Neil consumes long form content. So Neil doesn't watch TV or films. Neil watches YouTube. So
save on the license fee.
Yeah. So Neil will naturally kind of believe that we should do stuff that goes on YouTube, whereas I don't. I'll watch TV, and then in the adverts I'll be flicking through Insta Reels or TikTok.
Yeah.
So all of that stuff. So the fact that we kind of both have that is the reason we do all of it, really. But that doesn't have to be the case. If there's only one of you running the business, just understand. Try and have something for everybody where they can find it, really. And also, and this is, and I know we've done some paid work with you. In the past in your team, but you are a big reason for where we are with our video, because even aside from that, you kind of was always helping us, giving us hints, tips. And one thing you said, because I got worried that we'd have some evergreen content, I was posting it too much, and I said to you, and you were like, Matt, just post it, because the people will either they'll like it or they'll scroll past.
Yeah.
And that's the case. And I think a lot of people get too hung up on how often they're posting. And I now say to a lot of our coaching clients, if you think you're posting too much, post more.
Yeah.
Because the algorithm isn't showing it to everybody. People aren't seeing it. So the one thing I think most people probably need to do, if there's one answer, is just do more.
I think one of the things with around that, Neil, is, I've said this to you, haven't I, about the fact that if you're Nike or you're Apple or you're Carlsberg, they'll have a string of adverts. They'll produce one advert and it will go on multiple channels, hundreds of times, to try and capture as many consumers as they can. And we need to basically employ big business thinking to our marketing and our advertising strategy. And every bit of video content that you produce is a bit of advertising, a bit of marketing collateral. And think of it, like, if I was going to take a series of radio ads, same thing, I'll take 30 ads over a month and they'll play them at different times of day and night on that one channel. And that's what we need to be doing. You're exactly right. We went and made a piece of tourism content for a client. They posted it once. They had a great reaction. It had 15,000 views, I remember, in the first 9 days. I followed up with them a month later and said, oh, how's it going? And so, yeah, great, we're at 20,000 views. I said, oh, that's dropped off. So, well, no, 5,000 extra. I said, well, how many more times have you posted it? I said, oh, we haven't.
Right, yeah.
I said, oh, we've used that now. They've used that. And I was like, but it's good for you.
That's what we did. It was with the brand pack that you created. I posted everything once. And I was like, right, we've used it. And, now I've just got it on kind of repeat going out.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's not a one-off product, is it?
No.
It's a video.
Anything that doesn't date, anything that's not news, obviously news, when I was a journalist, obviously it was this week's news was this week's news and then it was gone. Sometimes you have to get 3 bites of the cherry. So you do a prelim story of an event that was coming or something was going to happen, then the event, then the post, something live, and then the post stuff in a journalistic way. But most of the stuff we're creating for our business, and particularly stuff you're creating for your business, is reusable, right?
100%. It's like the events that you guys have filmed for us. The reason we do that is because then the event becomes our content to attract more members to the network or for whatever the event is. So I think if you're hosting an event and you're not filming it, you're missing a massive trick. Or if you're hosting any form of, be it a training session, anything where you're spending time with other people and educating them, like our landlord events we have filmed, the HMO network members days we have filmed, because then you can just chop it up into those shorts and release it.
You get all the customer feedback as well, and you get your vox pops and your buy-in, and obviously when you're marketing the next one, you can use it again. So that's, it's all good. What would your three top tips be then?
I think just get on and do it, and don't overthink it. One of the main things we want as business owners is to get known, don't we? We want customers to know who we are. Or the number one way to get known is to put your face on a camera and talk and put it out to social media, YouTube, all these different platforms. Don't care about who's watching it. That would be my big tip, because that's one thing we used to get really hung up on, was like, I've posted it and it hasn't got 1,000 views, or it hasn't. So now we post a video. If I'm honest, I don't care how many views it's got, because I know people are seeing it. I was just seeing the brand, seeing our face. Yeah. And I just got this belief now and a faith that people are watching it, and that's come from the fact of the feedback we get is that, oh, I've seen your YouTube videos, or I've seen you all over Facebook, and people say to us all the time, I see you everywhere, and we think, well, we're not doing that much, but that's a good thing.
Is there anything, Matt, that you've ever made from a visual perspective? It doesn't matter what the answer to the question is really, but that you've had something made and you've gone, actually, do you know what? That was a waste of energy. That was a waste of time. Just so that anyone watching can sort of maybe avoid that. Is there anything you've made that you think, I wouldn't make that again?
I don't necessarily think so, because I think I've made some content I thought that's brilliant and it has done fuck all basically. And I've done one of my best posts was I took a pic. We had a Wendy's burger shop open, and all I did, it wasn't video. I just took a picture of it and said, "Does Chelmsford need another burger shop?" And it went mental with like the kind of the comment. And you'd think that would be a kind of, so I've had this really in-depth bit of market knowledge, and it's that, and a picture of a burger shop. So I don't necessarily think anything's a waste of energy, because you can learn from it. You know, if you've got particularly bad feedback on something, you think, well, I won't do that one again. I think really the key is to experiment, to try things, but I don't think you really get that much bad ones. I think people either like it or they scroll past. It's very rare you get that much kind of negativity.
People panic about that, Neil, don't they? They panic about negative comments. I mean, we've been making content for 10 years now. As a business, we've been open 9 years, but Matt and I started working together a year before that with our great mate Chris Watkin, and he stayed awake through some of that. So that's good news. I think we had one troll like in about 2017, 18, and we just killed him with kindness and they went away.
Yeah, that's right.
But I mean, that's in 10 years we've had like maybe 2 negative comments.
I've had 2. Someone told me that I ate too many biscuits. And I said, well, it's not my fault, your mum's a feeder. And then and then the second one, which is brilliant, but slightly offensive, someone told me that my face was too big for my features. Because, you know, and you can't help but laugh. But like in all the content, God knows how many, all the content I've done, that's all I've really had.
Normally, people haven't got the energy.
No, and
because people are time poor, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, for like number one, just who cares? And I know that's easy to say, but like, just who cares? And if you do care, then talk to me and I'll tell you how not to care.
Yeah.
And also, like you say, we get so many more positive comments, or anyone making content will get so many more positive contents than they will. But you just latch on, you know, someone says something that upsets you. That's why people worry about trolls or concentrate on that one comment over the 10 good ones they had. But
although some people aim for the trolls. Because, you know, obviously that, you know, the more comments you get, the better your content does. You get some people. So like Russell Quirk, who we all know, he loves a troll because, you know, he puts out stuff that he knows is a bit controversial. Yeah. Because he wants to get, so it depends on, you know,
and the other
model's going to go.
The other thing you can do, and I'm not sure it's advisable or not, but you could post a video and never read the comments.
Yeah.
Or switch off the comments.
Turn off the comments, yeah.
So
you do that, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that's a great thing from a brand if you never respond to your comments. I think you should. I think you should engage in any engagement is actually good engagement, because that negative comment, you might turn it into positive and kind of go on from there, and you might turn them into a customer if you're good at selling to people.
I'll tell you one mistake I've definitely made,
yeah,
which I'm just correcting at the moment. So I have 2 main types of content. I have content for Charles David Casson, which is home buying and selling, and I from the Baldock Brothers, which is agent to agent. So Charles David Casson would always go on Charles David Casson and my personal Facebook page. And I never put the Baldock Brothers stuff on my personal Facebook page because I thought, well, my mates aren't going to want to see that. And then you're worried about what they're saying. And I've got a mentee at the minute with Agents Together, and she's having the same worry. And I've considered a couple of things. Number one, if they start mocking you for like posting about work, they're not really your mates anyway. But recently I have started posting the ball because my friendship levels have changed on Facebook. I've been followed by more agents. So I thought, well, I will. But actually, I've got people I went to school with who have no interest in how to run an agency messaging me saying, oh, I didn't know all that happened behind the scenes. And I think I'm going to start winning a estate agency business out of it. So I would just say, don't worry about putting stuff on your personal Facebook page, because if you want, especially if you're in business, if you're a business owner, you are your business.
But you want your mates to support you. I've always posted my business stuff on my personal Facebook, because as you say, if people go, oh, why are you posting this on here? Like, cool, sod off then.
Exactly,
You know, because all my proper mates have always been super supportive of the work we do, sharing stuff, using us where they can. In the early days, you know, when they could, they used us for photography, video, and they still do, to be fair. You know, so because you've got to support your mates, haven't you?
Exactly.
100%. I think anyone who's giving negative feedback is probably just jealous anyway. So
Yeah.
that's their problem.
AI video content. Thoughts?
Well, it's not good enough right now, is it? Who knows where it will go? I think it's got to use like
Oh yeah,
like
I
AI.
say it's got use.
Being honest, we've had some long form content and chucked it into an AI app, and it chopped
Chops it up
into
for you. Yeah,
the
yeah.
short form.
That
I think
stuff
that's
works.
A very
Yeah.
good use of it. But actually,
Do you mean so? I mean, I've used it for like to create video.
It was an open-ended question.
So, okay, so I've used it to create video tours out of still photos.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah.
In terms of would I have an AI avatar?
Yeah.
Not currently,
No.
because it's not good enough, I don't think. But then I wouldn't. I think it has to be you on the film anyway. So
Yeah.
I do think the way it's going, we'll get to a stage where people don't know if it's you or not talking.
Yes.
And then I think that actually our value will go up if we're able to sit in someone's living room.
Yes.
I was going to say, and they can touch us, but they're not paying to touch us.
Yeah.
What I mean is people will just take you a lot more, and people will actually pay a higher fee for for an actual human experience.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think it actually will help in that way.
Yeah, because my girls they don't like AI at all.
No.
Any AI generated content they scroll by because they're like, it's not real. I don't like it.
Yeah.
And they bin it off because a lot of the younger generation, from what I'm seeing, they're like, well, this is going to kill creative jobs. It's going to kill all this stuff. It's ruining our opportunities, and they don't like it. And they like the real stuff.
well, it's funny you say that because my son is 13, nearly 14. But I was watching a video. I can't remember what it was now, but it's like a shark swimming.
Yeah.
And he
Shark wrestling a bear.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's a sort of
AI.
I can see. Well, he just heard it. He didn't even see the video, but he'd obviously seen it before, and he instantly shouted across at me, "Oh, that's AI, Dad." So the younger generation, they
They know. They're
don't
switched
they?
on. Yeah.
But they are dismissive of it because Freddie, he's 17. He's quite dismissive of AI.
Yeah.
He doesn't really like it.
Yeah. Which is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because obviously, that's your kids, and
Yeah.
independently, all just going, nah.
What's interesting is we've got a set of franchisees, really good agents, but we're struggling to get them in front of the camera. So I said, well, look, if you won't do it, I can create you an AI avatar that will do it.
Yeah.
And they went, oh no, we don't want to do that. That feels like cheating.
Yeah.
So it is weird. There is this imbalance. There's people that don't feel comfortable, but they still don't want to use AI.
I've seen some good ones, but we've tested lots, as you'd imagine.
Yeah.
We're testing, and we have used some Synthesia and some HeyGen stuff to create a clone of Matt. God forbid, there's two of him. But joking, I love him really. But it just doesn't. It works, but I know it's not him.
Yeah.
And the concern for me is always, as a business person, is being able to go somewhere and someone go, I've seen a video of you, but you are not that person.
Yeah.
And then there's that, the trust ebbs away, and there's that almost like misrepresentation.
You could actually end up spending more time trying to do it the cheap way through AI.
Yeah.
Because you have to keep correcting what it's done. Than you would have done if you'd just come and had it done professionally.
Yeah,
So-
it's a bit. I mean, look, we don't fear it. We're using it in everywhere we can to try and make efficiencies, save money for client. Obviously, it's great for text. Brilliant for ideas.
I'm a big fan of AI for strategy. I use a lot for ChatGPT for producing
got
documents,
all the books
and
on
it gives you ideas that you might not have thought of. So I think there's definitely uses for AI.
Yeah.
100%. But I just
He sends me an idea a night that he's talked to ChatGPT
Oh, I love it, yeah.
about. Yeah.
I've renamed
exactly.
mine.
He
She's
loves
called
it.
Zoe now.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, and
Is Michelle okay with that?
she doesn't know.
That's fine.
She doesn't know.
tonight I'm going to ask it to give me 15 ideas.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
send to
great.
him, just
Yeah.
to-
I love that. What do you think is a real problem facing agents at the moment from a marketing perspective? What do you think is a real problem for agents?
AI overwhelm.
Yeah.
So you've worked with enough agents, but they like the shiny. A new product comes
New
out,
toy, yeah.
we'll go and do that. And I just think we're being inundated at the minute. So my LinkedIn, I reckon 6 times, 7 times a day. It's quite a specific number, isn't it? I'm getting message saying, we've got this new product that will phone all your clients, text all your clients, do your video. And I just think there's a lot of shiny stuff out there, and agents are going to start dabbling in stuff. And I would urge agents, the job, just carry on and focus on what you're doing.
Yeah. The state agency business hasn't changed in the last 20 years.
There isn't a golden bullet.
No.
There's no golden bullet, but there are a certain number of things that work, and you have to do all of them.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. People stop doing some of the stuff that does work because, it's like Matt says, that new shiny thing's been, someone's inboxed you on LinkedIn and said, I've just built the latest AI bot. And so you go, yeah, okay, I'll have a go at it. But really, you should be doing the things that work well and work well, and then testing the other things.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Yeah, you shouldn't completely discount it. I think the ones that try and make everything AI are going to hit trouble. But I think the ones that kind of say, "Oh no, it doesn't exist," we're always going to
trouble, yeah.
they're all in trouble. It has to be a little bit in the middle,
ground,
really. Yeah.
Are you watching any cool series at the minute?
Do you know what? I'm not at the minute. I'm looking for a new.
He doesn't watch
box
TV. I've
set.
told you this. He watches YouTube.
I've
He
been-
watches box sets. You just told me. You just told me he's watched box sets and stream stuff.
Oh no, I watch a lot of YouTube video. I'm
He
just
watches
obsessed
sharks
with-
wrestling bears.
I love that.
Yeah, that's
Love
it. No, I watch. Funny enough, there is a guy I think it's a Facebook or Instagram, Jeff the Bear Man.
Oh yeah.
And he's got 2 big grizzly bears, and I enjoy his content, to be fair.
Amazing.
But, yeah,
Mate, you're
but no,
fully immersed.
Yeah, no, I watch a lot of YouTube like business content and stuff like that. But no, I'm looking for a new box set. I haven't. See, the thing is with me, I'm obsessive. So once you give me one, and I watch the first episode and I like it, I'll watch the whole thing in like a couple of nights.
Oh, cool. Well, what have you watched Yellowstone?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Give that a go.
Right.
Landman. Have you watched Landman?
I have, but my Paramount subscription has just lapsed, and I'm debating whether or not to renew because I've got all of them.
Yeah.
So I've let my Apple TV lapse just for now.
All right.
Sorry, Apple. Only because I'm waiting for the new series of Silo, which is unbelievable. That's really, really cool. Anything that you're watching in a minute?
So Landman,
Yes.
which I love, and then The Night Agent.
Yes.
But I'm back watching the first series because it was back in 2016, so I can't remember it. So I'm watching the first series.
Yeah.
Very much looking forward to the
Yes.
second series.
Favorite movie of all time? Do you have a favorite movie?
A Few Good Men.
Oh, it's a solid
Really?
choice.
Yeah.
It's a great choice.
Jack Nicholson.
Surprising.
Tom
Yeah, it's a
Cruise.
great
Fantastic.
shout. Yeah. Matt?
Any Given Sunday.
Oh, American Football.
Yeah.
Yeah, great
But
movie.
you can't find it anywhere.
No, that's
I don't know
Denzel
what's-
Washington, right? is it?
No, it's Al Pacino and
Al
Jamie
Pacino.
Foxx.
Which is a Denzel Washington. Oh, Titans. Remember
Titans,
Titans?
yeah.
That's Denzel. Yeah.
Yeah,
American Football, but
yeah.
What's your favourite film, man?
mine. It's a real tough call, right? The easy answer is like Shawshank because it's perfect in terms of an actual movie. But I love Back to the Future,
Okay,
and
nice.
of course Star Wars. Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars. But yeah, Empire Strikes Back. It's really hard. The original Superman with Christopher Reeve. I don't know.
Your favourite
You
Star
go
Wars
back.
character?
My favorite Star Wars character,
Yeah.
probably Vader.
Okay.
Yeah, probably Vader. Well, I don't know what that says about me, but yeah, I
Just
just
want to be able to do
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I
and
just think he's probably, having been to Disneyland and met like not the real Darth Vader because
Okay.
Eric Prowse sadly has died, but you know, and as has James L. Jones.
Well, that's interesting that who you consider to be the real Darth Vader.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Eric Prowse.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's the man in the suit.
I've got a signed Darth Vader picture by him,
Love that.
which I will let you have for £3,000.
I have one, so
Oh.
so you can keep it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Vader, I think as villains go, he's just perfect. And having met like a copy in Disneyland of had like a meet and greet with Vader, and the scale of, because obviously the scale's right or whatever.
Meet and greet with Vader.
Meet and greet with Vader. Yeah, he's actually terrifying. Like, because the scale of like, I think it'd be
Just
scary.
a tall man with a helmet and a cloak.
Don't ruin it.
Nice.
Don't ruin it. He also has wizard magic.
Okay, yeah. Fair
Yeah.
enough, yeah.
But anyway, mate, guys, thanks so much for coming. I appreciate you
Thanks very much.
taking time to come all the way from Chelmsford. I wish you continued success, and I love you both.
Love you.
too.
Cheers, mate.
See ya.
Thanks.